This is the Black Dime Cabaret podcast. I'm Brandon, and joined with me today is
Caitlin.
Let's start by just how are you going today? It's been a busy few weeks.
I'm going okay, thank you. You know what? I'm feeling a bit stressed out, to be honest, but happy to be here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have you here.
Thank
Not
you.
that this is like my show. This is everybody's show.
Everybody?
And as the lead singer of Black Dime Cabaret, you are just as important, if not more important, than anybody else in the band. Because if we didn't have a singer, we would be an instrumental band. And nobody wants to listen to that.
Except if you really like karaoke. And then you can be the singer.
Okay, let's just start with a bit of housekeeping. We finally finished all the drum recordings yesterday. I think was the last session. We had 4 sessions of that. It was supposed to be 3, but Joel, he's
a naughty boy.
He's a naughty boy,
He's a
costing
naughty
us
boy.
money.
Just kidding.
But that's all done. We wrapped up 2 of the longest, and one of my favorite Black Dime Cabaret songs was in that last recording session.
Secret.
Yes.
Not going to tell you.
I'm really happy with how it's sounding. We corrected a lot of things that we messed up with Act 1, and overall, I think the engineers at this studio in particular really pushed Joel to achieve the best results that he could. Mm-hmm. And I think when everybody hears the album, they're going to be very
enchanted. Enchanted. Both of those things. I only went for one of the days because mostly I was working, but there was one day where I just wanted to stay home and do some chores. So that one is on me. But it was nice.
Yeah, I don't blame you for not wanting to go because those sessions are...
They can be arduous.
Arduous.
Help me. Arduan? Will we ever... Nothing.
Bleep that out.
Nothing. Oops.
No, sitting in a room for 8 hours listening to drums is nobody's definition of a good
fun
day.
Time.
A fun time.
A fun time. I do have trouble listening to repetitive and stuff.
Yeah. I've been working on guitars for the album. I've so far tracked probably just over half of the album. And I've also been making a lot of changes with my guitars to correct some of the things that I hated about Act 1, as well as Knock Knock.
Hate's a strong word, Brandon.
Well, it's a very suitable word because when I listen to those guitars from Act 1, it sounds terrible.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So just a lot of correcting my tone and putting a lot of thought and detail into my tone, which wasn't really present. And that goes back to the whole thing of where we were talking about in last week's episode about how in Act 1 we all recorded everything together. And I think one of the downsides about that is that you lose some attention to detail. And I think I lost a lot of attention to detail in my guitars. But when you guys hear the Act 2 guitars, I think you'll think they're pretty cool.
You will probably think that. That's all I have to contribute to guitar talk.
Yeah. All right, well, let's just wrap up housekeeping there. Today's episode is going to be all about vocal recording because that's something that you are going to be starting.
Yes.
Hopefully soon.
Yep, we've got some deadlines to meet, if you will. And as a procrastinator, I'm quaking in my boots.
Yeah, so how are you feeling about the fact that we are about to start recording vocals?
I'm feeling a bit nervous and excited. There was duality in that. I was hoping, this is like 2 months ago, I was like, okay, maybe even if I could just jump in with like a vocal teacher and just like have someone to relay? I don't know exactly what I was about to say, but have someone to just, be like, hey, I'm singing this. I've hit a brick wall, or is there a better way that I could do this? Because it helps to have someone just to have that conversation with when you are trapped in your own brain, being like, am I singing this the best way? Blah, 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 blah. But alas, as a procrastinator and everything, we've run out of time. I have no money. What has changed? So I'm just going to do my best with the resources I have, which is my noggin. And these
yeah, like you're
these
never
things.
you're never really going to get the perfect circumstances handed to you. It's like gotta just do, this is what we can achieve with the time that we have, as Gandalf once said.
Did he say that?
Something like that.
Wait, did he say the word achieve?
No. And just like go for it. You know, I think this album is going to be a lot more character and story driven. So, you know, as long as you can really tap into the character, I think. And I mean, the thing is, you always sound like, I feel like everybody likes your singing, even on a bad day.
That's funny.
You're definitely your worst critic.
Yes, as we all are our own worst critics. But I do agree. It's a lot more character driven, this Act 2 stuff. So I am excited for that. I am a chronic overthinker, so I think maybe asking, is this enough? Like, can I do this better? And always thinking, yes, I can do this better. Oh my God. Is maybe just a part of who I am. But I'm going to give it my dang best shot.
Yeah. And that's all you can really do.
Yeehaw.
Yeah. We recorded Act 1 when?
It was like January 2020.
There were 2 periods for the Act 1 recordings.
Yes.
How do you feel you have evolved as a singer and, you know, since then, and has the way you approach singing changed? Is there anything that you did on Act 1 or any processes that you used, has anything changed? Your outlook on, you know, how are you going to approach Act 2 differently?
Yeah, a lot of time has passed. I also think I was, as this is to be expected, but I was pretty scared recording Act 1. I was like, oh my God.
There was a lot riding, a lot of stress. And
I think the fact that, I don't know if it was for the first 3 tracks that we recorded or if it was for the rest of the album, but I was recovering from laryngitis. And so I was just like not in the best place, which is a pattern that has happened to me a lot, like getting sick. It's like you get a little bit sick and then you get sickness on top of the sickness on top of the sickness. I think there were a lot of risks that I should have took, like in Act 1 maybe, like especially when I listen back to like Black Time Cabaret, like the song. And I might have mentioned this in last week's episode, but yeah, I feel like I played some of it a bit safe, just because I was thinking about singing and less about performing or conveying a story. And Act 1 is a very different thing because, you know, it's been sung by other people. And so, you know, I'm always comparing the way my voice is to how their voice was. Like there were 2 other singers before me, and then there's all of Brandon's demos, which Brandon makes good demos. I mean,
no, I don't.
No, you do. Like Act 2 demos. Oh, holy smokes. Anyway, yeah, it's weird for Brandon to be like, okay, Caitlin, you're singing this now. And I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, yes. This day was always going to come in which I'm going to hear it for the first time with my voice and trying to have that conversation about, like, should you sing this? Should I sing this? That is a lot of back and forth between you and me.
Yeah, even, you know, there are a couple of songs on Act 2 rather, where I was I guess the idea was that I was going to sing them. One of them we have performed live.
Mm.
The Raven Conspiracy. I don't know if I can say that.
I think you
I
can
might
say it.
bleep it out. But yeah. Where I was going to sing that. Some other songs that I was going to sing. But my I guess my opinion or my perspective has shifted slightly where I'm like, when you have a weapon, a vocal weapon such as yourself, who people love and whose voice is significantly better than me, it's like, I think we should just utilize that. Even though, you know, maybe on the surface, story-wise, it might make more sense for me to sing it for whatever reason, because I'm a boy and you're a girl.
If I were a boy.
But then I think just
Beyonce would
you
say.
know, most people who listen to our songs don't care about that. And then you look at the fact that, like, even if you look at, you know, City, the Gentleman Catherine EP that I did, it's like a boy can sing songs from a girl's perspective and a girl can sing songs from a boy's perspective. That's something that I just came up with. That's my theory.
I think, well, in general, screw gender roles. So whatever you identify as, anyone can sing about anything. Yeah. You just reminded me of two songs. Rufus Wainwright, The Art Teacher. That's a good example. And then also Alex Gow, who was formerly in Oh Mercy, has one called My Man, which might not have a lot to do with what we're talking about today, but I just wanted to tell my audience those are some good songs. Anyway, but I do agree, however, where I come from in the argument of it's not just about, does it make sense for, you know, my voice, which is commonly associated with Celeste or Lady Midnight or whatever, does it I just get worried. I'm like, are you like overhyping me, or are you counting yourself out? You know, because I think you've got a great voice, but I know and you know that we both don't see ourselves that way. But probably, you know, whoever's listening to this and who likes our voices is going, these guys are crazy. They sing great. Maybe. Anyway.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah. I also think, there's going to be a big difference about Act 2 because, I mean, we're just trying to do everything here. And there was great stuff with Act 1, getting to record in a studio, having an objective person. It's the same kind of thing about why a vocal teacher is good. It's not like what was that? I think it's a cat. It's not just like Brandon going, okay, you can sing this better, or Pat going, okay, now do this. Because when it's your bandmates and those people close to you, you know, you're more likely to be like, okay, excuse me. Like you get a little bit of the attitude, if you will.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Act 1, it was good to, you know, for James to be like, okay, that was great. Like, I don't know. And then for him to be like, okay, I think you can, like, you've got a better take on you. I don't know. There's just something that happens sometimes when, if you hear that from a friend, I don't know. It feels more like, like maybe like, I don't know. You're more likely to take offense, but
yeah,
I don't like. Maybe I am different now.
Maybe. Well, let me ask you, because you've worked with a few different, I guess, like vocal engineers.
Oh, that is true.
What's your ideal? Like, what are some of your ideal qualities in terms of what an engineer brings to a vocal session? In terms of like how they approach it, what they say to you. Because you also did that one recently with the I don't know if I can say it, the guy from Titration.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you said that was a pretty good experience for you.
Yeah, no, that was good. I think there's something to be honest, most of the people I've worked with, like sometimes you and I or me and Pat, like we can get a bit catty with each other.
I
if you
can
will.
definitely improve.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm thinking of ways in which I can approach this better than I have in the past.
Well, that's good. You know, I will say, because I've worked with a few people, even just like singing for some student assignments and whatnot.
Cool schools.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's a whole other shabacle. Debacle. Shenanigans. Anyway. But I think having empathy and positivity, if you see that someone's getting stressed, it's nice that someone could be like, you know, they can read you and just go, oh hey, like, yeah, just take a second. Like, do you need some water? But also, I mean, it's not just about the engineer. Like I have changed a lot as a person, and I'm able to see in myself now, oh, hang on, okay, this is what's happening inside of me. I think I'm freaking out right now, or I'm doubting myself, or, or I'm getting tense, or so. Yeah, I mean, I have more strategies now to take care of myself in that recording process. But having an engineer who is positive, empathetic, who can, see you and say to you, hey, you're doing a good job. Like, it is very validating and motivating. Yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah. I guess it depends on different people have different thresholds for the amount of feedback and the types of feedback that an engineer can give them. This isn't vocals, but when Joel was in the studio, as we sort of touched on a bit in the last episode, the drum engineers were quite critical and quite
methodical,
and like they weren't afraid to just say this is like just not good at all. And that worked well for Joel. I think like he got better like as he went in terms of reacting to that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's also the instrument.
The instrument vocals is very like,
if someone tells you, hey, it's not good, you can take that and go, I'm not good.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, if what I'm doing right now isn't good, how can I do better in the next 10 seconds? It can be a slippery road, but I think the most important thing is to, take a deep breath, make sure holistically that you're doing everything you can to take care of yourself. Yeah. Always the water. Smash the water. Don't skip any meals. Go outside and touch some grass, and all of that impacts your voice. So, but yeah.
Do you feel better prepared heading into the Act 2 recording sessions than you did heading into the Act 1 recording sessions? Do you feel the same? Just in terms of your physical and emotional well-being?
Ooh, this is interesting.
Because I know you did say you were sick for a bit of Act 1.
And well, even now, like, I think I'm just prone to, being set off by things. Brandon and I work around kids, so there's just germs everywhere. There's always the cold.
I feel like you're always a little bit sick.
Yeah, but sometimes I'm not, and then I'm like euphoric. I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. I can breathe. Like right now, I'm like, my face is like, the sound isn't coming right out of my face. But we persevere.
We were actually going to start recording vocals today.
Yeah. I think I feel a little unprepared, or a little. I am worried because it is recording at home. Like I feel worried about perhaps not having, like, do we have the best mic? I mean, we don't have fancy stuff. Like, is our room the best? I mean, it's nerve-wracking that everything depends upon being well,
Yeah.
and there's so many other factors in life that are going on that, that pull your attention and your focus. And when you're at home, you're faced with all of them. So that is going to be a challenge, doing vocals when you know that, oh, that's right, I have to cook dinner right now, or I have to go do something for the cats, or I have to go to Coles, whatever, which I don't know. I wish I could just, teleport places.
Yeah, it is tricky.
Time travel, all those cool things. But I don't know, there are parts of me that are more prepared, maybe. I can hear there's this alarm going off in the distance. Yep, there it is.
Well, yeah.
So
I suppose
that's the thing to be worried about. Is this alarm going to go off when we're doing vocals?
There's a lot more distractions. It's the same as doing anything from home, working from home, making music from home. There's it's not a workplace really.
Yeah.
It's just our house. So it feels different it feels different to walking into a studio with limited time, and every second that you're there is money.
Yeah.
I think it definitely changes the approach.
You're fully immersed in that environment.
Yeah.
And there's that association. Like, I'm here to sing. I'm here to do music. But
well, looking at this album.
Yes.
It is, without revealing too much, it's definitely more challenging. Not just vocals, everything we've taken up a notch, whether that's drums or guitars or bass or whatever. But the vocals especially, which I think part of it is, with when we did Act 1, we didn't really change the songs that much vocally from what they were with the previous singer, who she had a lower vocal range than you. So I feel like there were probably challenging parts on that album.
Yeah.
But they weren't tailored towards you.
Yeah.
Which you touched on a bit earlier about how this time there's no other singers, it's just you. What are some of the biggest challenges you feel when you look at what you need to bring to this album recording? Because it's harder. Yeah. There's some crazy stuff on it.
Yes. It's even just finding the right keys. That's been a whole thing.
Vocal keys.
Yes, vocal keys. So that's whether, am I going to sing this melody in a higher place or in a lower place? The songs do move around quite a lot as well. So, you don't want to go too low, but you don't want to go too high. So I'm a bit, as I've probably said 5 times, I am a bit nervous. This will be the highest that I've been singing. I feel like I'm just going to be singing pretty high in general. And that's not even counting any harmonies I do. And normally I have a tendency to stack. I love stacking. That's one thing I didn't do in Act 1, I think, was...
I think there'll be a lot more vocal harmonies and vocal stacking in this.
'Cause that's something that's always really appealed to me. And I think, in Act 1, we were just a week, but here, we're going to... I think so. We'll have more time we get to listen to it and go, you know what? I think you were right. I think we should have this harmony part here. And then we can just do it. And that is exciting to me. So I guess that's not a challenging thing. That's just I'm excited about this. But yeah, I will be singing a lot higher.
Do you feel a pressure to get it right and to do justice to the songs?
Of course.
Or do you not care?
Of course I care. That's why I'm so nervous about everything all the time, because I care about everything, which is tiring. But I love the demos that you've done. And we've all been looking forward to this for so long. Like, because we were just going to skip over Act 1, weren't we? And then do Act 2.
Yeah.
And so
Back in the dark days of limbo,
COVID stuff, all those fun times.
Yeah. Shout out to Cian, who was
Mhm.
the person who was like, we should do Act 1 as well.
Oh, forgot about that.
Little known fact.
Little known fact. Thank you, Cian. I don't know. I can't even think about it. I'm sure I'm going to find them when I'm singing. I know that they're there.
Yeah.
I'm just going to, if I can be in the best shape holistically, then I think I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have everybody else behind you.
It's true.
Everybody
Everyone?
loves your vocals. You've seen the comments.
Well, some of them.
Some of them.
They get vetted. Is that the word? For safety.
Yeah.
that
I don't
the right
tell you
word?
the ones that are bad.
Because when
But there aren't really any that are bad.
I don't know. Good times.
So
I mean, I do think I have a tendency to, and we've spoken about this, and I think I was in denial about it, but I do have a tendency to oversimplify melodies sometimes, because I'm a real just like, you know, the music that I write is very narrative, maybe a bit rambly. I don't know. And I think sometimes I'll like skip over notes in between. I know I'm not a fill. A fill?
a fill?
A fill.
No, you're a Caitlin.
I'm not like a, you know, runs and singer, but I don't know. I think this is, if I can pull all this off, like I'm going to be really proud of myself. And I think it'll be a great achievement. And I just want to do the album justice, because I think the music is beautiful and there's just a lot of emotion and expression, and I am looking forward to it.
Yeah. You know, I think people should expect to hear some of your most ambitious and some of your best vocal work on this album.
That is an ambitious statement.
I think it's true.
I am a bit.
I think they'll be very impressed.
Oh, well, thank you, Brandon.
And surprised.
Thank you.
Especially that one part in that one song.
That's just a bit you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I was like, what? But I'd say one of my concerns would be, I get worried that if I'm up in the same places, like my voice being up high, I get worried that my tone is going to get a bit boring for our audience. But maybe that's just a funny little insecurity I have. I do think
it's hard to say.
You know, there's a lot of la 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 singing, and then there's going to be some aha singing, which is I'll be able to, you know, get the best of both worlds, you know. Anyway,
as Hannah Montana said.
yeah, I was going to sing it and I was like, control yourself, Caitlin. Stop.
Okay. Well, how about we wrap up the episode by giving the audience, our lovely audience of listeners. By the way, I'll just take this moment to, first of all, thank everybody who is especially a part of our Patreon, Discord, who leaves comments on our YouTube videos and on social media as well. Thank you all. If you're not a member of the Patreon or our Discord, you can be a member of those things. It's all free. You can usually find links on our website, but if you're watching this on YouTube, it'll also be in the description this time, which I didn't do last time, but I'll do it for this video. And for those people who are watching this video, I'm going to ask if you can give them one lyric from Act 2, maximum of one sentence, that they can look forward to hearing when the album comes out.
Do I just say it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the one that's in my head is Ardwan, will we ever see the sun?
Ooh, what does it mean? And who is Ardwan?
Well, you know what? Maybe it's been a long night.
True.
That's what I would ask if I hadn't seen the sun for a while.
Or you could be a vampire.
Olivia Rodrigo?
Or one of our listeners. And with that, that is the end of the Black Dime Cabaret podcast, episode 2. Thank you for listening. I've been Brandon.
I am still Caitlin.
And we'll see you next week.
Okay, see you then.
Bye.
Hello, it's me, Caitlin. You thought that the episode was over, but it is still going. I have stolen Brandon's chair, so I can do this. Oops. If you have any questions or ideas for a podcast episode, please let us know, and we will take them into consideration. That's all I have to say. Goodbye.